Welcome to the SNR Podcast, where freedom for the mind, body, and soul takes center stage. We're here to break down the system, expose the truth, and inspire real change. From the state-national movement to uncovering how the government's just a corporation, to diving deep into the Federal Reserve's hold over the world, we're here to give it to you straight. But it's not just about exposing corruption. We're also bringing you the tools to heal with meditation, breath work, and natural healing practices that help elevate your life. We're loud, we're edgy, and yeah, we're funny as hell. Steve's got jokes, Kenny's got the research, and Ashley's keeping us organized, while Gwen's here to inspire both the young and the wise. This is the SNR Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the SNR Podcast episode. I do this every week. I'm going to say 14, but anyway, I should probably go back and look. Either way,
44.
It's 5:30. What is it?
I don't know. I'm just playing. Sorry.
So it's Sunday night. We're going to do the long-awaited episode with the due process defender, the demo.
Oh, yeah.
First,
It's going to be
Kenny,
awesome.
I want to take... I know, I can't wait for this because I haven't seen it myself. I have access to it. I just haven't used it yet.
Get your
But,
fucking seatbelt on,
we
bro.
have
You'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. So first of all, to everyone that's reached out, anyone that's emailed, called, asking for this particular episode, again, I'll do like I do every episode. I apologize because my schedule's so hectic right now. I appreciate your patience. But so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do shit because this is an education for me as well. I'm going to pull up the due process defender. I'm going to do a screen share. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Kenny tell me exactly what he wants me to do. And let me see.
It's easy. It's easy. All you have to do for that kid situation, because what Steve's going to do is he's going to put in a kid emailed. I don't know if he's a kid. I just assume, I don't know. I had it in my head. He's a youngster, but he's in the National Guard, the Florida National Guard. He refused to take the jab, and they want to kick him out. So he wants to know, like, could he use this to help himself? And so all I did was I just plugged in the basics. Anytime you're using this tool, you just say it like it is. You don't have to be all, just say whatever it is, just say it. And it knows.
Yeah.
So if it's not a case, Steve, like if you're telling it a case, it's going to ask you a sequence of questions. If you're giving it a case, like I got arrested, it's going to say, okay, what's your case number? Where did it happen at? What's the state? It's going to ask you all these questions. But for this type of scenario, it's not. It's going to be different. It's going to tell you how your rights, where they're located, how you could exercise them. Is there an affidavit? Where's that located? What kind of rights does this situation offer? That's what it's going to do. It's going to be education. You'll see. Watch. Plug it in.
I know. I'm trying to.
And then what I was
I'm
suggesting
asking
is
to
after
screen
you plug
share.
in, hey, I'm in the Florida National Guard. Oh, yeah. You know, they're scared. They're like, don't let Steve screen share.
It's telling me, yeah, I don't know. It's not letting me screen share, but I have this issue with this platform every single time. Kenny, do me a favor. See if you can do it on your end. All I did was email myself to link chat GPT. See if you can open it up.
How do you screen share though? Because I
At the bottom of the
have
screen,
my due process. The bottom of the screen
So
layout.
you see at the bottom of your screen where it says share? Do you have the option where right next to the leave button it says share? Can you see that or no?
Mine says leave.
So just to the right of leave,
mine
it should
says
say
at the
share.
very bottom, it has mark mic cam speaker share. Yeah, it does say share right here. Screen.
All right, so yeah.
Let's go. I'm blind. Open system settings. All right.
We're also in the middle of a what do you call it? A storm right now. So I don't know if that's messing with my internet service.
Oh gosh, it needs my password. The one
Sweet Dick Willie 69.
That's the one kryptonite that I'm awful with, dude. I'm like the worst person with passwords.
Passwords? Yeah, I'm terrible.
Yes,
I have everything saved.
and
on my
none
phone.
of my
If someone steals my
devices.
phone-
My devices will never automatically save them. It just won't. And you'd be really surprised at how my devices act. You'd be like shocked because they don't act right. They don't do the auto spelling for me. They don't do a lot of shit that they do for everybody else, but not for me. Even Photoshop, they already caught me. They know who I am. They mess up all the words. So I have to, when I make my edits on my pictures, I have to hand type everything. If I ever push the button where it like finishes your word for you, it makes the word mixed up. Photoshop. Bro, they know me. Dude, I do not know this password. Oh, shit. What do we do, Steve?
I don't know why this won't let me share this.
Oh, look. Maybe this will work. Is that shared?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That's it, right?
How many state nationals does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Bro, I just don't do this type of stuff. If Gwen's really good at anything like this, at computer shit, she's like fast. She's really fast. Me?
Yeah,
I'm good at
Well, there's
other
two
stuff.
things probably preventing me from doing
weird.
this.
Our whole family has their own line of specialties. Okay, so look at the top. If you could see my cursor, can they see this? It says, I'm in the Florida National Guard.
They can see everything.
But I got kicked out for refusing the jab. Is there any way I can fight back? That was my prompt. Very basic, very simple. And it's like, yeah, you can fight back against a discharge. Against being discharged from the Florida National Guard for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. So I said jab, but right away it knew COVID-19 vaccine, particularly asserting your constitutional and statutory rights, including religious exemptions under the First Amendment and the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, RFRA. Step 1. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to teach you how to set them up, because if you have to ever stand up for your rights, there has to be a notice. There has to be a violation, and then you file the claim against them. So you can't just like, oh, I'm suing. Like, there has to be a documented thing. So it's going to tell you how to do it. So it tells you your First Amendment, your free exercise clause. You have the right to freely exercise your religion. See, this is where they get you. In the military, because you're government property when you sign over your stuff, you still have certain things. Like one of them, you don't have to take experiments. So if it's not approved and it hasn't passed the testing, it's still in experimental phase, you can deny it by that. But this one's telling you religious, which is smart, because religious is probably the hardest, strongest protection you get in America. So it's telling you that underneath your First Amendment, you have the right to religious exemption. And then number 2, it goes right on to religious freedoms, the Restoration Act. And it says, show a compelling interest to override the religious beliefs. See, the government, it says this, under RFRA, the government must show a compelling interest to override your religious beliefs. They must use least restrictive means to achieve that interest. You can use or adapt an affidavit like this one found in your file titled Affidavit of Religious Practice and Rights. It just wrote the affidavit. I'm not playing. You click it, it literally has it there. And then you just put in your information. So your religious beliefs, it has cannabis in here. The role of cannabis or natural health in your faith, adapted for vaccination if needed. See, bro, this thing's next level. You didn't even know.
Yeah,
because there's
there's
different religions that have those practices protected. Assert or preserve your rights. Look, legal strategy, it tells you how to do it. If you're involved, if you're being involuntary discharged, appeal internally through the National Guard chain of command and Inspector General. File a religious discrimination complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity, the EEOC, or Florida Commission of Human Relations. Consider a federal lawsuit under RFRA and First Amendment alleging violation of free exercise of rights, lack of due process, failure to use least restrictive means. See, because they had that little way of getting around it, that they could do it, but they have to do it with the least restrictive means. And so they're attacking with that, which is good. That's really smart. And then it says bonus tactics. Use precedents. Gonzalez versus O Central. Supreme Court upheld RFRA protections over federal drug laws for religious use. Drug laws. Someone was using drugs. That's only according to the federal government, because, you know, Big Pharma has to make their money. It can't be having all this stuff that grows out of the ground, healing people for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And then over the last 100 years, you know, they took over. So big takeover, guys. You better suck it up. Just kidding.
Does that say, would you like help customizing?
Reinforce strict scrutiny. Would you like help customizing a religious exemption affidavit, preparing a notice of constitutional violation to assert your rights formally? So I could, at that moment, I could have prompted, yes, please make me this notice of constitution. And it would have wrote the affidavit. It would have asked me my information, and then I would have plugged it in. But this is what I did. I said, I already got kicked out. I jumped past that. I said, look, I already got kicked out. Can I sue or fight back? And this is where it gets gangster. This is the prompt. I was like, oh, shit, someone's going to jail. And it's not him. It says, yes, you absolutely may file a lawsuit back. You, even after being discharged from the Florida National Guard, but the path depends on whether you were violated under the Constitution or federal law, especially RAFA and the First Amendment. So let's follow the due process defender hierarchy. Step 1, constitutional illegality. Top priority. See, it's programmed for its priority. So it goes into the RAFA violation. If your discharge was due to the refusal of COVID-19 vaccine based on religious grounds and they denied your exemption without due cause. So that would mean that you gave them a religious exemption. And this is what I mean, like it would show you how to prepare them. So that's why it would create that affidavit we just passed over. That would be your religious exemption, right? So say he hasn't got discharged yet. He would take that affidavit, give it to them, and then when they deny him his exemption without due cause, now that's the proof because he gave it to him and then they denied him. And now you have a right to sue. But those transactions have to happen before you sue. So it's like setting it up. Or they failed to use the least restrictive means. So then it goes into that one. Like say they accepted it. Well, I guess they wouldn't accept it if they didn't, if they kick them out. Did not engage in individualized assessment. So you have strong grounds to sue, and it tells you to sue right there. It says the military is bound by DoD instruction 1300.17, which requires accommodating religious practices. So it knows, like, it's pulling up the DoD 1300.17. So anybody who you want to look it up, right? DoD instruction 1300.17, which requires accommodating religious practices under compelling government interest and least restrictive means are met. Step 2, legal action pathways. File a claim with the EEOC or OSC. And then it goes in to tell you the two different versions. The next step to preserve your claim, file a federal lawsuit, civil rights violation. Wrongful termination, religious grounds, violation of constitutional rights, injunctive relief. So these are all the money parts you'd be asking for. That's where it is. That's why you see all those people getting kicked out for that shit. And then, I saw a story out of New York, Steve, where these nurses got paid big money for getting kicked out of their jobs and refusing the vaccine. And it was like millions that I saw. And all they did is they just took their money, hired a good lawyer, and went and took it to him and gave it to him because the system is just a system. It just operates that way. It's just how it works. So it tells you what you need to do to build your case. Documentation of your exemption request. So that affidavit would have been it. And then you need your denial letters or emails. You need orders or memos. And you need your notarized affidavit of religious belief, like the one you filed. And so it starts to tell you, if you don't have some of these, we can still draft a powerful affidavit asserting your rights retroactively for court. Would you like me to help me with drafting a notice of claim of intent to sue, preparing a RAFA First Amendment complaint for federal court, assembling a case summary for the EEOC or OSC submission? You still have power, especially if you act fast. Let me know which decision you would like to pursue, and I'll help you build it. So from that point, you just keep going. And it'll tell you, like, it'll draft your affidavits. You do have to always read, analyze, and edit. Like, it's not there to do it for you. And in fact, you can't. You have to always look at everything, read everything, and use, once you create it into a Word document, you have to look and read it in your Word document and edit some of it. But majority of the work is done because it's going to take what you told it. And I think everyone's biggest problem is formatting. You don't even know how to format it or what it would even look like. We're just like, what do? We get on Word and we're just like stuck like a fucking deer in headlights, bro. So this thing will format it and give you the idea, and you're like, I get it. And the better you get at it, you just get better. And then you're drafting shit that looks like you're the best attorney in town or lawyer or whatever, because you get good at formatting. Makes it easy. So those little simple things, when it creates the document for you, it really, really helps. Like that is something people don't talk about, because it puts the formatting for, if it needs to be notarized, you'll know, because it'll have a notary page. Like it doesn't skip that stuff, which is great. So if anybody ever did, even, this is just for constitutional rights. This isn't even going into a case. If you put your case, dude, it gets it. You can scan your documents. What I do with the phone is I'll use an app and I'll scan the documents in using an app. And I think my favorite one is called Turbo Scan. Man, that thing is awesome. You just use your phone, you can scan any documents, and then I just upload them straight into the Due Process Defender. And that's how I'd get it to scan anything. Like, especially if I didn't comprehend something, I could scan it in there and be like, look, this is confusing, because their legalese shit confuses you sometimes. And it'll explain to you where the problem is, and it'll simplify all the legalese. It does all that stuff. And who's going to do that for you? Like, you can even go to your lawyer and be like, yo, bro, read this. Because he's busy. He's got shit to do, and he charges $500 an hour. Like, that's how it works. I mean, so using this tool, you can really, you can attack the system and protect your rights. Because where'd you go, Steve? You disappeared. Your cat's, I think he got attacked. He has lots of little rugrats running around outside his casa. He has a bunch of raccoons he feeds. I don't know if you ever noticed, raccoons are always stealing shit. And that's why they wear those little eye bands. Well, since Steve's gone, it's just us. I can tell you that there's nothing like this, and I wish I would have had it whenever I was doing my grandma's case, because, man, it would have made it easy, because it was hard. That was a hard case. It took over a year, and they cheated us. At one point, they hung up on us just to get a default judgment. Like, that's how shady they were. They were all working together. And they literally just hung up and got a default judgment. And they thought, because she's, an old 70-year-old grandma, that she's just screwed with her default. Next thing you know, this is what happens. After they do that to you, then they wait a couple months, nothing happens. They come back and they get the judge to submit an order based on the judgment. And then, even if you're on Social Security, they can get into your bank accounts if you have a certain amount. Like, if your amount's $2,000 a month, if you have 2 of those payments, anything above that they can take. So let's say you had $4,000 in your bank saved. They can't touch it. As soon as you get $4,100, they're taking that $100. That's how it works. So even if you're on Social Security, they get a court order, they take it. Crazy. That's how they do it. So that's why you have to know how to do this stuff, because right away, I knew what to do. Right when they did that, I told her, Grandma, don't worry, I know what to do. I told her, give me screenshots of what just happened, because she was actually on the phone, right? So I was like, I just need the pieces of evidence, and I'll write your affidavit. I'll get everything ready. And then we submitted a motion to set aside judgment and put the evidence and the reasons why. Like nothing, the judge granted it, and our case started back over. But still, what a hassle. And most people wouldn't know or have the wherewithal to continue, but it was easy. I was like, I already knew what to do. But now everybody knows what to do. That's the coolest thing. Like, a lot of people kind of fib and bullshit around. Like, oh my gosh, I just saw something. It kind of bothers me. I think I should spill the beans on it. Steve, since you're not there, I'm going to do it anyways. Ha 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 ha. He's like, I'm gone. Oh, the landlord. It's the landlord. Mexico. I saw this guy teaching about trust. Like, you can access it. You can access your trust. It's not true. You can't. I know, because I went and I went by the person with the biggest mouth saying he could access it, and he he wasn't being honest. He didn't have access. But I did just see someone saying they had access. They were like teaching it in a class. I was like, oh my gosh, what is up with the scammers? Man, you definitely like he's teaching it. He does not have it. What is wrong with people? I don't understand. Where's the genuinity anymore? Like the whole thing's burning down. They're doing. Steve's gone. What happened, Steve?
I'm back.
You're back.
My power. I just lost power in my house. I told you there's a storm going on right now. Everything just went out.
Oh, that's
my power
crazy.
My power just flicked on and off. I'm shocked it let me back in. I thought I was going to have to open another session. I'm sorry. Well, it's a thunder and lightning storm right now. So my power just flicked on and off.
I thought for sure it's probably those UFOs. You know what's crazy, Steve? What happened to the UFOs? Are they still flying?
Yeah, that wasn't a distraction.
Everybody just forgets. We're like,
whatever happened to the Chinese?
I know. We're just like, ooh. Yeah, whatever happened? I mean, gosh.
Yeah, Chinese.
Sky's the limit for distractions when you could print money unlimited.
Yep. And by the way, I just want to point this out for anyone who's keeping score. Iran was one of the last countries without a central bank owned by the Rothschilds, if I'm not mistaken. So there's pretty valid reason for us to go in there and take them over and put another bank there. So, Kenny, I don't know if you can hear my questions before.
We already took them over, though. We took them over a long time ago. No, I couldn't.
I just can't believe
that's already been our country. They just pretend.
The way
They're pretending, bro.
I don't want to get sidetracked tonight. I can't. Say that again?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It is illegal, though. Article 1, Section 8. The president's not allowed to do that type of stuff. Neither one of them. None of them.
Yeah.
Only Congress.
I saw that. They're all calling for him to be impeached. And this. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hey, can you?
I'm sure they are. It's not about that, though.
Oh no, do
another one.
It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, we can start another one.
Well, what I was going to see.
Yeah, you want to run another
the
chat?
Basic one. Run something through as if you got pulled over for speeding, or like you said, like a red light or something or other. And the other thing I did, Kenny, I forwarded you the email from the gentleman that reached out to us from Illinois. I just sent it over to you. He was the one I told you he's got some issues, like he's suing some federal judges, things like that. He sent me an email of his timeline. I sent it over to you in case you want to try to plug that in and see what that does. But let's go to something that everyone deals with at some point and go to like a traffic stop.
Okay. I got a red.
By the way, I was trying to keep my mouth shut, which is not like me while you were doing that presentation. I am absolutely freaking stunned with how in detail, like that thing just offered to write an affidavit for you. I'm like, I can't even believe that
it does a lot more than that.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
This is what I like about it. This is what makes it special, right? So I said, I got a red light ticket in Texas. Thanks for sharing. Since you're dealing with a red light ticket in Texas, here's how we start your defense strategy.
Oh my God. It goes to if it's from an individual or a camera?
Yeah, but watch. I'm going to put in where I got it at. Lack of proper service. Yeah, so it
do me a favor,
automatically just goes down the list. Mm-hmm. But here's the important part. This is where it's
ticket in Rhode Island. I never checked for myself.
Yeah. Look, if it's a form of red light camera, multiple Texas jurisdictions, including the Texas legislature, have banned or voided enforcement of these tickets. That is the first thing it told you. It tells you right here that it is banned. So right away, it's going to show you how to smash it with the banning because it's banned. So it would tell you right away. Would you like me to draft a motion to dismiss based on the constitutional validity or due process? See, in Texas, there's an actual code for it. Look, motion to dismiss. It's already writing it up. I'll just say yes. I'll just make it simple as if I didn't know. Like I would probably prompt a little bit different, but I want to do it as if like I don't know and I'm not as good as I am. I just do it like someone regular. Yes, let me help you draft a motion to dismiss, and then it asks your city, county. As soon as you do this, your information. I wonder. Watch this. Let's see if it gives me that. Leon Valley. Valley, Texas.
Oh my God, I typed like I got 10 thumbs.
222-333-444. Date of citation was 0430. Oh, wait, shit. I guess I need to space out. Date 03 03 2025. I'm just gonna say that. See what it could do with that. You're supposed to put all the information. I don't want to answer all the questions for timing purposes, so I put the location, the case number, and the date. Let's see what it does. Look, this is badass. Check this out, Steve. Why is your ticket likely invalid? Texas banned red light cameras in 2019, House Bill 1631, prohibiting new camera enforcement programs statewide. Through contracts in place, they still run. See, it just told you can beat it like nothing. There is no fight. Did I do it? Did I not do it? You can beat it. It's going to show you how to beat it right here. These motherfuckers, dude. See, tickets from cameras are now civil suggestions. And you know what this reminds me of?
Wow.
Back in the day, I watched a lot of funny movies like Half Baked and all those like funny ones. But there was one, How High? And the guy is going to college in Harvard, right? He's going to college and the homeboy has a bike with all these like buttons on it. Yeah, he's like horns and all that shit. And he's like a fake cop. And he tries to give him a ticket. And he's like, what kind of shit is this? Like, I'm not going to pay this. Who's enforcing it? Nobody. That's what this shit is. Red light tickets right here. It's a civil suggestion. Look, it doesn't go in your credit report. Doesn't block registration or license renewal. Doesn't appear on your driving record. It doesn't result in arrest warrants. It does nothing because they lost their power. So they're operating solely through contract and agreements. So they have to get you to agree and to pay them. Fucking scammers, dude. So this one's okay. Let's go for Rhode Island. Let's do a new one. Let me start a new one over here.
Kenny, can you hear me okay?
New chat. Yeah, I can hear you now.
You keep going. I'm not going anywhere, but like for I have a feeling my power is going to go out again because I don't know if you can see my TV. I'm in my basement, so. But
okay, well, tell me what you want me to. What you want me to say for Rhode Island?
No. You just put in the same thing like a speeding ticket.
I was in Rhode Island. I got pulled over by the cops, and they
after I get the voluntary cavity search. What should I do?
So we're gonna ask him, what do we do if we get raped on the side of the road, Steve? That's your row.
Geeking out right now. I can't keep it. It won't let me use the background anymore, and my screen keeps flicking. So if you lose me, keep talking.
Well, at least your background looks cool. You're not homeless. That's cool. I mean, I always wondered. It looks nice, dude. It's a nice ass basement, bro.
No, my basement's fucking dope. Don't get me wrong.
I'm in Rhode Island. Yeah. I'm in Rhode Island, and I got pulled over for, oh man, I missed the O. DWI. Look, I didn't even put over, I put ver. I'm over here typing like shit. Let's see what it says. It's going to say, oh, you're in Rhode Island? You're screwed. Your name must be Steve Bardi. It says, thanks for sharing that. Constitutionally check. Okay, so it goes after constitutionality. Okay, this is what I need. Your full name as it appears on the ticket citation.
So it runs you through the same thing, but
number,
what fascinates me is that it looks into... It looks like it goes through each individual city, state, jurisdiction, and their law. Like, it's all very specific to where this all transpired.
It is. It has to. Yeah, it always goes exactly where it's at. Once you provide that, I'll check. Okay, so let's put your name.
All right, so Steven, Steven.
Okay. Beaven?
Bardi. Beaven Stardy.
I just
no. It's Stephen Bardi. Bardi. Beaven is my alias.
I know. I just put
Stephen Beaven.
Case number 3.
So for city, put West
city.
Warwick.
What's the city?
West Warwick. WEST
How do you spell
Second word is Warwick.
No, how do you spell Warwick?
Warwick.
You cut out. We're just. It's what? TK?
Warwick.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
There's a W after the R.
Here. Okay, Warwick. And then we got county. We don't need the county. I'm sure they'll figure it out. The date? What was the date? We're going to make it up. It's 03 slash...
Do 3/31/25.
Slash... I already picked this one.
That's fair enough.
3/3/25. And then any documents, date and time you're arrested. I was arrested and they searched my privates.
I enjoyed it, but I don't want to admit
it. And feel they groped me.
It was weird that I was aroused.
You're like, bitch, stop playing.
I was upset but aroused at the same time.
Stop playing. Officer. Well, it depends what the officer looked like. You're all like, damn it. Well, if she's pretty, you might want to get searched. No, I'm just joking, guys. I'm fucking around. Okay, Rhode Island DUIs, law prohibiting, it's got the same 0.8. So basically, I just saw they were showing that there are certain things that causes it to blow hot, and it's like stupid shit you wouldn't even think, like a mustard from Chick-fil-A. I was like, what?
Really?
Due process violation sweep. During this critical, Fourth Amendment protects unreasonable searches. Any touching beyond a lawful Terry frisk for weapons may be unconstitutional, justified. If you were touched in the groin or similar area, stop arrest without reasonable suspicion. To feel a weapon likely violates your rights. Rhode Island courts. It's all about the touching. Next step is to explore due process, challenge the validity. Look at how it's going right off the jump. See, because that's all that matters. Fuck all that other shit.
Yeah.
And nobody gets that. Look, challenge the validity of the stop. You know why? Because fruit of a poisonous tree, if the stop is bad, all the evidence collected is bad. And the whole case goes away. See, if anything in the stop is bad, it goes right on to motion to suppress. And you know how I know this? Because this happened to me when I was a kid, dude. I was a stupid little kid. Not stupid. I was really smart. I was not using it for the right reasons. I was always being rebellious. One time I saw this happen, the suppression of evidence, and that was it. It was done. File a civil ROTS complaint or consider a lawsuit for groping that could amount to battery. Yeah, you're getting groped over there, bro. Don't accept it. Give it to him. Unless she's pretty, give her your number. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're like, damn it, Kenny. Okay, jurisdictional check. Okay,
you're turning into me.
This is terrible. I know. Damn it, Steve. This is terrible. Okay, your immediate action plan. I know. It's because of all the stuff. I can't. It's been hard. I can't say all this stuff. I can't make videos about it. Like, I was making videos exposing this one thing, and you wouldn't even. I'll get my video to like 10 minutes, and they would delete my video as I was making it because I was talking about one particular place that exposed. It's just like where the location of all those people are located. Like the people who print the money, I know where they're located. All of them. They're all there.
Are you referring to Jisrael?
No. They make a cheese out of it, and the second word ends with like Disneyland.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's that place. That is the place where they're all located. They're all there. All of them. If you want to know the names you don't know that control everything, they're there. Explore civil remedies. Yeah, so
I can't believe how
you just have to put in your
incredibly
stuff,
thorough this thing is,
and it goes into everything. It automatic. I think what makes it so special is that whenever I went to program, I wanted to make sure it goes after the most important part is the fruit of a poisonous tree. Like, let's see, is this initial transaction, the initial contact, good or bad? because if it's bad, oh, you're done. It's the whole case is trash. And that's why this tool attacks that way, so you don't have to fight ignorantly and get in trouble. And you don't piss off the courts. And the best thing about it, here's the best thing. If you have to go on the offensive side, everything you've done on this has trained you to be on the offensive side. And I think that's the biggest thing, downfall of other people, where they're like many people, and I even did some of this stuff too, and it worked, but it was hard, where they're like, I'm the living man, I don't cross the bar. But what about if you have to go to court? You're just completely disbarred from ever going to court because your belief system. So basically, you take it up the ass from everyone, and you have no way to go back to court because you refuse to go, because you won't learn the system, and the system's all corrupt. Of course, it's all corrupt. I mean, but there's only a couple ways to protect yourself, and court's part of it. So if you can't go back to court, they kind of screwed you, and you kind of screwed yourself on that one. So it's better to learn this way, because you can win both ways way easier than the other way. The other way is just a hard-headed way. And people do it because they're mad, Steve. Everyone's mad. They're like, we're slaves. Oh, screw this. Everybody's pissed, you know?
Well, listen,
but it's true. Hey, we have a straw man book, Steve, coming out.
Stop, really?
The state nationals rock straw man book. Yeah, it's literally all about our process, what we do, how we do it, why you're a slave, and how it all works. It's like the straw man book, but it's our book. It's like our information. But yeah, it tells you how it all works, how the government secretly sticks an invisible jinky jink and takes all your taxes while you're sleeping. And then you're like, I didn't even know it happened. Yeah, we're the magic tax fairy. We come at night.
Unfucking All right, Kenny, listen. Why don't we? I don't want to cut this short, but my power, it's not flickering, but I can hear it in here. Like you're glitching to hell on this thing. So, we went through the two examples. Man. Why don't we cut it there? I know you have to get out to the store anyway, so why don't we end the session here? I feel bad because I am getting horrible reception over here. I want to go back.
It's all right.
Go back and watch what we just did real quick and make sure that I actually recorded properly, because it was glitching to high hell the whole freaking time. If it's good, then use it.
If not, no big deal.
All right, and then what we'll do is
hopefully it's good.
I'm hoping with the AI part of this, it'll clean it all up. But like the entire time, there was a massive delay. So I'm hoping this thing edited fine. But anyway, let me go mess with this thing.
It'll be fine.
I'm sure it will be. Let me mess with this thing. I think that's a perfect example. We took kind of both ends of the spectrum, but it's pretty self-explanatory on how to navigate through the due process defender.
Okay.
And I can't believe that it actually writes affidavits for you.
Steve. Oh, it does.
All right. So
everything.
Listen, for State Nationals Rock,
it'll write any notice document.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did not anticipate that. I thought it was just going to kind of help tell you what to file, how to go through the process. I didn't think it was actually going to help you write affidavits.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right.
It does.
We'll call it a night for now. Let me make sure that this all recorded properly. If for some reason it didn't, we'll catch up in a day or two and redo it. But let me poke around with this and see, if it came out. If it didn't, let me see if I can clean it up. What a shit show this was.
Okay.
Jesus. All right, listen. Safe travels.
Have a good night, Steve.
You too. Tell the girls hello, everybody. Thank you for the calls, the texts, the emails. I hope you enjoy the content. And if you have any questions, or if you're currently dealing, because Kenny, I think it's fair to say we get a lot of messages about people who are actively involved in some type of legal situation.
Definitely.
This to me,
most common thing.
This seems to me like the most fantastic and easiest way to deal with these issues, because it's going to save you thousands,
and the best way.
Yeah. I feel like because this is truth.
Dude, it is. Awesome.
This is truth. This isn't a lawyer's judgment decision. No, this to me seems like
no, dude. People don't know, if you use AI for good, it's really, really good. It reflects your consciousness. People don't know that. It's just a program that reflects. It uses superconductors that does a quantum phenomenon, because they freeze it to a certain level where it has no burn off of energy, and when the electricity flows through it, it literally creates a quantum phenomenon, which is like quantum. It's like it can connect. It's almost like mimics our consciousness. It is very intelligent.
I can't believe it.
But not what people think. It's not like, why do you think they put out all the movies that are negative about AI and robots? Because they want to control what you think about it, so that you can reflect back that experience to ourselves.
Well, think about it. Everybody thinks of the Terminator.
I caught him, though.
Skynet, the Terminator.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, listen,
bro.
You have a safe trip. I know you're traveling,
have a good night,
so
Steve.
Have fun. Be safe.
be safe.
All right, brother.
If not, I got due process defender if I get groped.
Everybody, have a great night. Have a great week. And we will see you soon, Kenny. Thank you again for the presentation, brother.
You're welcome.
All right.
Have a good night,
everybody.
SNR Podcast, where freedom for the mind, body, and soul takes center stage. Our goal is to break down the system and expose the truth, and to give you tools to heal, like meditation and breath work. And at the center of it all, we're having a blast. On behalf of Kenny, Steve, Ashley, and Gwendolyn, we thank you so much for coming over, and we hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But learn how to find us over on Linktree at State Nationals Rock. See you next time on the SNR Podcast.